So how many of you have a bazillion of these little bijou tiles? Just stop, let's just stop for a second. A bazillion is a whole lot from Zentangle that you just really don't know what to do with, and you don't really have a great way, or say you've done a couple that you're just super proud of and you want to find a way to display them. And I have just the thing. I have created, similar to my last video where I had the accordion album that you could store your tangles in. And if you haven't seen that video, be sure and check it out. But this just gives you a way to display your Zentangled art, or if you wanted to put some photographs. Well, I have created this fun little smaller one that's perfect for the bijou tiles. But when it opens up, the way I've got this put together, it turns into this fun little star. And so I want to show you all how I put this one together. So 3 pieces of cardstock cut to 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. You want 2 pieces of decorative cardstock. These are both cut 3 by 3. And then 2 pieces of chipboard, cereal box, something just a little bit sturdier. And those are 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. And then once you have everything cut, you want to take your large pieces of cardstock, and we're going to score these. And so I'm going to do it 2 1/8. Score, turn it around, 2 1/8. And then again, we want to score from one point to point. So only one diagonal. Don't get carried away and do both of them. You only want one. And once you've done that to all 3 pieces, you're going to fold it in half. Let's see, where's my little bone folder? Turn it around, fold it in half, and then flip it over to fold on the diagonal. Again, if you forget to do the flip it over, it's not the end of the world. Okay, I'm gonna fold it in half, turn, fold it in half, flip it over, and then we're going to do the diagonal. Oh, look at there, something's haywire. Did that wrong. Look, I didn't cut that right. See, it happens to the best of us. That's okay. We'll do another. Fold it in half, fold it in half, turn it over, and do it on the diagonal. Okay? Okay, so now we have our 3 pieces, and we are going to glue them together. But here's where it's a little different than the other. So this one, let's go ahead and just get some glue on one of these corners. So just put some glue on one of these. The difference is, rather than overlapping them, I'm actually going to lay one right on top of the other and pinch those together. Again, glue gives you just a little bit of grace. Let me make sure I'm in the screen. And I might even just zoom in a smidge. Okay, so I got these 2 pieces here that are folded in on each other. So this one and this one. But rather than overlapping, they're actually connected right here. Does that make sense? We'll do another one. So this time, I've got this folded up. Let's just take this, put some glue on it. Folds are up on this one. Folds are up. Folds are up on this one. And I'm going to put these 2 pieces together so that they are back to back. So I have 3 cards glued together and this one in the middle. Okay. And what that does is that gives you the ability then, when you open it, to connect those, and you've got your little star. Okay, so now what we want to do is take our 2 pieces of cardstock and our chipboard, and we are going to cover these pieces of chipboard. And so decide what side you want. I'm going to use this side as the outside, and so I'll be gluing on this. Okay, so grab your glue and apply it to your piece of chipboard. Let me get in screen. And then again, we like to just kind of eyeball things. You can get persnickety if you want, but it's really not that critical because we're just going to fold these pieces in. Persnickety means somewhere between perfectionism and I think it's good enough. The only comment I will make is that if you do have a pattern on the outside that's very linear, you know, you're going to want to be a little bit more particular about how that lands. So just think about that. Anyway, so a little bit of glue, don't need a whole lot. Eyeball it and put it down. All right, then we are going to cut the corners at a diagonal. Don't forget to leave just a smidge. I should probably clarify what a smidge is. It's not very much, but just enough. Corner here so that you completely cover your cardstock and you get a nice clean corner, and do the same to both pieces. And then again, one of my things I like to do is run it, kind of fold it against the table. That just makes sure that you've got a really good tight fold crease up against your cardstock. I just have found that to be really handy. It's not critical, but again, for ease of adhering these, I'm going to go ahead and use my score tape on these edges so that it adheres quickly, and do that on both pieces. Then you just want to peel them off. I usually go ahead and just peel all sides off at the same time. Just simplifies things. I typically fold in opposite sides at the same time. Take my thumbnail and pinch in the edge. Fold that down. Again, thumbnail to pinch in this edge. Close it. That gives it a really nice clean corners. Once you have both pieces complete, then you want to bring your star, and we're going to glue this on. However, the first thing that you want to do is get your ribbon. The ribbon, I usually will do about, 14 inches. Should be plenty, whatever you feel like. And then typically what I like to do here is I go ahead and take my score tape, double-sided sticky tape, and I'm going to put a piece at the diagonal in the middle. So I got my double-sided tape, and what I want to do, you know, an inch is too much, but if you put about 1/4 of an inch, that should be sufficient. You just want to give yourself space between the two. And then I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to just lay it across the diagonal on both of these. Goes from one corner to the next. On both pieces. So make sure that that lines up well. And then at this point we can adhere glue to the remainder. You can, you want to make sure you don't overshoot your background so that the glue's not all over the place. And then just try to center one side of this. Okay, it folds open. You just want one side of this glued to that. Eyeball it. Once you get it in there, just secure it in place. If you feel more comfortable putting the glue on the cardstock, that is absolutely an acceptable and probably preferred method. Same thing, Make sure your ribbon's all straight, and then go ahead and eyeball this. Boy, I'm having a heck of a time. And the glue allows you a little bit of grace if you're off. And then you've got your 2 pieces of ribbon, and you'll have a little spot here which just kind of holds it together. Make sure that it doesn't pop apart. And at this point, your star is almost complete. So now you can open it up. Decorate it with your photos or Zentangles, and there you have it. It's what I call my bijou star. And again, here's the completed one with all of the bijous in it, and you've got yourself a fun little decorative bijou star. You can hang those all around, you know, whatever you feel like you want to do.